Mohammad Rizwan Alam from Patna, Bihar, India. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Saab. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am an MBBS doctor. I am your big fan. I always pray for your return to India. Do also pray for me. Inshallah. Whatever Allah wills, mashallah, let that happen. What is the best for both of us? My question. For a long time, I am struggling to perform Fajr Salah. Sometimes I pray and sometimes I miss. How to manage daily activities and sleeping time so that I will not miss Fajr? Presently, I am studying. Brother Muhammad Rizwan has asked a very important question, that he sometimes prays his Fajr Salah, sometimes he misses it. How is it possible that we do not miss the Fajr Salah? And praying 5 times for an adult Muslim is a fard. And as we discussed in the previous answer, that if it's an adult male, then praying in Jamaat, in the mosque, in congregation is a fard, including the Fajr Salah. And amongst the Salah, which is sometimes missed or more often missed by those who are regular people who pray Salah, is the Fajr Salah. Therefore, the Quran says that be careful of your middle Salah. So if you count it as an Islamic day starting after sunset, the first Salah is Maghrib, second is Isha, third is Fajr, it becomes the middle Salah. Some scholars say the middle Salah is Asr Salah, when they count it as a normal Gregorian day after sunrise. So first becomes before sunrise. First becomes the Fajr Salah, second becomes Zohar, third becomes Asr. So the middle Salah, they count it as Asr Salah. There's a difference of opinion. But I do agree that one of the most missed Salah amongst the Muslims who pray regularly is the Fajr Salah. Now, how can we not miss the Fajr Salah? What is the routine? Normally, according to medical science, an adult human being should sleep approximately 8 hours every day. This is normal requirement for a human being. If he sleeps, even 7 hours accepted, average 8 hours are required. The average duration is 7 to 9 hours. An adult Muslim should sleep so that he's fresh. And today science tells us, the medical science tells, that if a person sleeps less than 6 hours, hardly 1% of the human beings, they can perform normally. Means if you sleep less than 6 hours, that means 8 hours is average, even 9 hours is no problem, maybe up to 6 hours is accepted. But below 6 hours, if anyone sleeps, less than 1% can perform normally if they sleep less than 6 hours. So number one for a Muslim to see to it that he gets up every day in the morning for the Fajr Salah is to see to it that he sleeps at least 7 to 8 hours every day. So depending upon what time is the Fajr Salah, if it's maybe 6:15, then if you're a person who offers even Tahajjud, and maybe you take half an hour or 1 hour to offer Tahajjud, or 45 minutes, so 45 minutes before you get up, you see to it that you get up at 5:30, you may get up a few minutes before, do your wudu, start offering the Tahajjud at 5:30 and you have 45 minutes, then you pray your Fajr Salah. So you work backwards. If you have to get up at 5:30 and if you have to sleep for 8 hours, then you have to sleep at 9:30. Or if you say 7 hours is sufficient for me, it's possible, then you minus 7 hours, that means you have to sleep latest at 10:30. So this is how you plan. There was a businessman who told me the same question. The Brother Zakir, I pray 4 times a day, on time. But Fajr Salah, most of the Fajr Salah I miss. What is the solution? And he says, I've tried a lot, but it is, most of the time I miss it. I asked him a simple question, that what if you have a very important business meeting same time as early in the morning, before sunrise. You have a very important business meeting at 6 a.m. in the morning. And you know that if you attend that meeting, there are high chances you will earn $1 million. What will you do? He told me, if there's a meeting in the morning before sunrise where I'm going to make $1 million, I won't sleep the full night. So I told him, our beloved Prophet Muhammad said, the 2 rakah you offer, the sunnah salah, before the fajr salah, it is more valuable than the earth and the wealth in it. And what is the value of the earth, you know? It is not $1 million, it is not $1 billion, it is not $1 trillion, it is not $1 zillion, it is much more. So beloved Prophet said, 2 rakah sunnah before the fajr, fard salah, is more valuable than the earth and the wealth in it. So for $1 million you can stay awake full night. What about this, which is trillions and zillions of dollars? And that really shook the businessman. That is, if you have a will, that is the way. The problem is you should have a will. So similarly, a person should plan according to his lifestyle. And every individual lifestyle changes. What I am advising you to sleep at 10:30, I don't do that. I have a different lifestyle. I have a different makeup. I am a different person. I don't sleep at 10:30. For me, I normally, when I was in Bombay, from the time I was studying in the medical college, I used to sleep for approximately 4 hours a day. Allah has made it possible for me, alhamdulillah. But when I started doing dawah, my hours of sleep reduced, and last few years, or last maybe a decade, when I lived in Bombay, I slept for average about 3 to 3.5 hours a day. In 24 hours, on average, I slept 3 to 3.5 hours. And normally, I used to be awake the full night, and I used to sleep maybe an hour or so after the sunrise. That's my routine. When I came to Malaysia, initially I used to sleep for about 4 to 4.5 hours. When I came in 2017, then after a few months it became 4 hours. In 2018, it was about 4 hours. 2019 became 3.5 hours. And 2020, last year, on average, after the pandemic started, after COVID-19, my style of dawah changed. Alhamdulillah, dawah increased. And now on average, I'm sleeping 3 hours a day. On average, many a times even 2 hours. Many a times I'm sleeping for 1.5 hours and I'm giving the session. It has changed, alhamdulillah. So Allah has made it possible for me that, alhamdulillah, even sleeping less, I am able to work well. I would love to sleep, but because of the requirement, I sleep very little. And the routine in Malaysia has changed. Previously, in my earlier answer, I had given in Ramadan that, I used to sleep on average about 3.5 hours, but after that it has reduced 3.5 to 4 hours. Now it has reduced to about 3 hours. And previously, in my earlier answer, I said that I used to pray tahajjud for approximately between 15 to 45 minutes every day. And normally, because I was awake, I never used to sleep. I used to sleep sometimes. But from this Ramadan, I made it a point that I will sleep before tahajjud salah, even if it be for half an hour. And alhamdulillah, most of the nights I sleep. So what I do normally, I plan backward. Since the last Ramadan, for the last more than 7 months, I have decided that in every tahajjud salah, minimum, the recitation would be for half a juz and slow recitation. And the sujood would be longer. The sujood for all the 8 rakah, that is 16 sujood, takes approximately 25 minutes to half an hour. The full salah takes about 1 hour 45 minutes. And alhamdulillah, it has been a beautiful experience. It is really wonderful. Unlike in Bombay, my tahajjud used to be sometime 20 minutes, sometime half an hour, sometime 45 minutes, that's it, never more than that. Here I made it a point. So I do backward working. Now, the Fajr Salah, the Adhan is at 6:10 in the morning. So 1 hour 45 minutes are minus. I start my tahajjud at 4:25 in the morning. So it's 4:25 in the morning, I have to get up at least 10-15 minutes earlier, put off the alarm, do wudu, get up. So the alarm starts approximately 20 minutes before, and I have a different way. Alarm rings, I put the snooze off once or twice. So it takes approximately 5 to 10 minutes of snooze, and then I get up. For me, alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed me that if I want to sleep any time of the day, anywhere I can sleep. It takes me hardly less than 2 minutes to go to sleep. Once I go on the bed, I go to sleep within 2 minutes. MashaAllah, if I'm traveling, I remember in Bombay, when I should travel in the bus, while standing also I can sleep. While driving, when I come on a signal and the signal is red for a couple of minutes, I doze off. I go to sleep while driving. And when someone honks from behind, I get up and I'm fresh again. So this is a ni'mah from Allah. I can sleep even for 2 minutes. And I remember in Bombay, or even here, if I finish my work and if the salah time, previously last year, if the fajr salah is after 10 minutes, I've got 10 minutes, I even go to sleep for 10 minutes. Many a times I go to sleep even for 5 minutes. It's actually very dangerous and it's impossible. How can a person sleep for 5 minutes? And imagine if you're awake the full day and sleeping for 5 minutes, what guarantee you'll get up? But alhamdulillah, I keep an alarm and I get up. That is Allah's ni'mah on me, that whenever I want I can sleep, whenever I want I can get up. And when it's for salah, there is no question at all. The moment I hear the alarm, I get up. If it's not for salah, I know that there is no work, so I may put the snooze off. I may take another 10-20 minutes to get up or half an hour to get up, no problem. But if it's for salah and if I'm conscious, alhamdulillah. So for me now, my routine is, there is a tahajjud for 1 hour 45 minutes before. So before the fard adhan, I get up approximately 2 hours before. I keep the alarm about 2 hours 5 minutes before the fard adhan of the fajr salah. And I take about 5 minutes to get up. Once I get up about 10-15 minutes before the salah to do wudu, to freshen up. What we have to see, that every individual knows his capacity. So for me, alhamdulillah, because of my workload, and here I'm in Malaysia, I've got offices in London, in Dubai, in Riyadh, I've got to speak people in India, to Pakistan, I've got staff in different parts of the world. So most of the time my meetings start after Isha, it carries on to Tahajjud. And lately, because of my new projects, the meeting starts after Isha at 10 o'clock Malaysia time, it ends. It actually doesn't end, I'm forced. I said I can stay awake, but I cannot miss any of my salah, not even my tahajjud. So the latest is, even I miss my dinner, but I have to end the meeting before 4. So that, I can do wudu and I can get in time for my tahajjud salah. So each one has its own different capacity. So for me, Allah has given that, alhamdulillah, it's a ni'mah for me. I can sleep anytime, I can get up anytime. So for me, alhamdulillah, there is no problem of sleeping anywhere. Imagine, even while driving I sleep, mashallah. And Allah has blessed me that there hasn't been any accident because of me sleeping. Alhamdulillah. Even while riding motorcycle. So this is Allah's ni'mah, that I can sleep anywhere, anytime. I can get up anywhere, anytime. Alhamdulillah. It is like, when you have on your tablet, on your laptop, on your phone, auto switch off. So basically, if there's no work and if nothing interesting, I automatically go to sleep. For example, if I'm hearing a video or hearing a lecture, it's not interesting, automatic, within a few minutes I'll go to sleep. It's auto off, like how you have the tablet, you don't touch it, it goes off. So this is Allah's ni'mah, mashallah. Anywhere, anytime, when I'm free and if it's not interesting, I can go to sleep, mashallah. And if someone wakes me up, I'm fresh again. Not that normally when people get up from their sleep, they're not fresh. So it's Allah's ni'mah. So for me, it is different. So for every individual, it differs. So for you, brother, you have to know your capacity. But generally, I'm a doctor, a person should sleep for at least 7 hours. There may be a possibility that 6 hours is okay for you, but below 6 hours, 99% you will not be able to handle it. And if you have a possibility to sleep a little bit in the afternoon, Kailullah, that's a sunnah. You can sleep for about half an hour. I do that sometimes. But putting the afternoon sleep and this, what I do normally is that I try and sleep at least half an hour is my target before the Qiyamul Layl, before my Tahajjud Salah. But tell you frankly, my average is about 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I sleep even today for 5 minutes. It gives me the power nap. And it makes a difference so that I can concentrate on my Salah better. So Alhamdulillah, most of the days I do sleep. On an average about 15 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes 20 minutes. And normally I sleep after Fajr. I do my askar, have my breakfast. So on average about 1.5 hours after the sunrise, I sleep for about 3 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours. Average total putting my Salah before the Tahajjud Salah and the morning Salah, it is average about 3 hours. And Allah has given me the capacity, Alhamdulillah. If I sleep more, I feel that I'm wasting time. And Alhamdulillah, there are times I feel tired. So depending upon each one's capacity. So for you, you have to see to it that if you regularly miss your Fajr Salah, it is haram. It is Gunaya Kabira. You cannot. Once in a while, if you don't get up, and if you miss your Fajr Salah, Allah will forgive you because it wasn't under your control. But if you're regularly saying that I cannot get up, the problem is in you. You have to change your lifestyle. If you say, I don't get up 50% of the time, it is Gunaya Kabira, it is haram. If you say once in a while, once in a month, twice in a month, you don't get up, Allah will forgive you. But if you say that I don't get up 50% of the time, or I don't get up more than 50% of the time, it is not accepted at all. You have to change your lifestyle. Even if you have to sleep 8 hours, 9 hours, before Fajr you have to do it. Irrespective of what work you have, what job you have, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a businessman, this Salah is more valuable than anything else in the world. So my request to the Muslims and to the brother is, you have to see how is your capacity. What is your capacity? And you have to see to it that you pray all 5 times on time. And as I mentioned in my earlier answer, that I have got an alarm system. There are ready-made alarms that are there that automatically reminds you. But for me, I keep a manual alarm because I have 3 to 4 alarms, normally 4 alarms. 5 minutes before the adhan of every salah, alarm goes on to indicate to me that whatever I'm doing, I have to wind it up in 5 minutes. Because there is no appointment more important than appointment with Allah. So for every salah, I've got 7 salah, the 5 times first salah, and the Tahajjud Salah, Qiyamul Layl, and Salatul Duha. So I've got 7 alarms. Each alarm rings for 4 times. So it is 28 alarms are there of mine. 5 minutes before that, to indicate that what I'm doing, I should stop. Any phone call that comes after my first adhan, I don't pick up. Because there are high chances that I'll continue talking and I will miss my Jama'ah. While I'm talking, if the bell rings, first bell, I tell the person I've got 2 minutes more to speak. I have to end because the adhan is going to start. Whoever it is, there is no one more important than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my first adhan rings 5 minutes before my first alarm bell rings 5 minutes before the adhan time. If I'm doing a work, it's an indication. If I'm involved in talking to someone, I tell him. If a phone call comes after that, I don't pick up. When the second alarm rings, it is adhan time, I stop my work. I know I have to go to the washroom, the call of nature, do wudu, it takes 5 minutes for me. After that, I know from my house to the mosque takes about 3 to 5 minutes. I count 5 minutes. And the Jamaat starts in the mosque 15 minutes after the adhan. In some places, most of the places, 20 minutes. In the place where I stay in Malaysia, in Tamara, it is 15 minutes. So after adhan, 15 minutes to do wudu and washroom. I leave 5 minutes before the Aqama I reach. And depending, I normally try and reach minimum 6 minutes. So to go normally takes at 3 to 5 minutes. I know that if I have to offer 4 rakah sunnah, I do it a bit fast and I reach 6 minutes before, because 2 rakat takes approximately 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes. Even 5 minutes, no problem. If I have to read only 2 rakat sunnah, I leave a bit late, so I reach in time. This is the way I see to it that I am in time before the aqama, in time for my sunnah before the fajr salah, before the fard salah, so that I offer my sunnah, whether sunnat-e-muakkada, sunnat-e-ghair-muakkada, and alhamdulillah, in the last 9 months, maybe twice or thrice I might have missed the aqama. That's it. But naturally, when I'm traveling, I'm not counting that. I'm counting when I'm staying at home. It's different. But when I'm here, alhamdulillah, maybe 3 aqamas I might have missed. But when the Surah Fatiha starts, I came. But on time, alhamdulillah. So this is the most important deed which Allah will ask you on the Day of Judgment. So depending upon each particular person, and believe me, I'm very busy. So no one can say I'm busy, therefore I'm late. So people think, because they're big businessmen or they're big celebrities, for them no problem, they go late or they miss some salah. No. In fact, the more Allah has given you ni'mah, the more you have to be on time. Fajr salah is the most difficult. You have to see to it that you sleep early. If you know that sleeping 6 hours is insufficient, sleep for 7 hours. You do trial and error, irrespective of what the work is there. You cannot miss your salah regularly, even if you say, I'm going to miss it 25% of the time. It is not accepted at all. Whatever job you are doing, whether a doctor, whether a prime minister, whether a king, whoever you are, you cannot afford missing any of your salah, including your fajr salah. What you have to do is, you have to see to it that you sleep. And if you sleep regularly, automatically you will get up. You may not require alarm also. And there are many people who don't require alarm the way they have been made. I require an alarm because the way I function is different. So brother, the easiest way for you is see to it that you start sleeping early. 7 hours before the time you want to get up, whether the Fajr Salah, whether it is Tahajjud. If you say Tahajjud, I cannot, okay. Tahajjud is not a farz. It is mustab, very important, Qiyamul Layl. But Fajr you cannot miss. So you have to plan accordingly and make it a point. You may be a doctor, you may be anyone, whatever work you have. You cannot miss any of your salah for any reason. If you are sick, in emergency, no problem. If the fire is there at home and you're putting out the fire and then you miss your salah, accepted, but not as a routine activity. So see to it that inshallah you make it a point. You may have to trial and error when you sleep, when you get up, and you change your lifestyle. And that's what I do. If I have to sleep at night and get up in the morning, if I have a work, I sleep at night. Everything is, alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed me. Many times when I go outside and if I have appointment starting from morning after Fajr, I sleep before Fajr. I sleep for 3 hours, but my routine is 3 hours. I sleep for 3 hours, I get up for my Tahajjud, pray my Fajr, and start my activity, depending upon your requirement. So see to it, you plan very well, and see to it that even if you have to stop some of your other activities for Salah, it is worth the bargain. Hope that answers the question.